Okay, welcome everybody to the Chart Chat Show. We're going to be talking about today's MoonMentum stocks. A lot of action in the market. I want to start off with, well, we're going to be talking about today's big movers and a couple of stocks that are getting ready, I think, for massive setups. These are GME, amazing. AMC we've been talking about, CLVS, NIO, CRISPR, IS, today's big mover. But I want to talk about IS, Iron Source, merging with Unity. What does that mean? Why is the stock up? We're going to go to that chart. That play is pretty much done. You can't really make any money with that. So that's going to be a merger deal, and you're too late. If you snoozed, you're basically loosed out. That is validation that the Web3 metaverse space is heating up. So Unity, Iron Source, Web3, what does this all mean? What it means is this is one of the reasons I believe that we're getting some action in NEXCF, okay? NEXCF, NEXCF. I'm gonna kind of explain to you what this chart is about. I just wanted to pop this up on the screen. This is like a 2-year chart. And what I've highlighted is in the purple arrows, and this is on Twitter or whatever, in the purple arrows point to breakouts above the moving average. So every time this stock breaks, and again, guys, the one thing I watch is the 50-day moving average. That is, like, any idiot can understand that. That means momentum. When you're above the 50-day moving average, bullish, below it, bearish. Every time this stock breaks above the 50-day moving average, you see very powerful uptrends. Very powerful uptrends. And you can kind of see how big the moves have been. I mean, the arrows just pointed out right there. And right now, we've got another breakout above the 50 moving average, and it's accelerating. I'm going to talk about that later, but we're going to go into I want to first talk a little bit about the Web3 theme. But look, NEXCF, NEXCF, I think the stock, what are we trading at? I think $1.16 today is $1.16. By the way, this thing is already up. It's tripled. This is tripled in the last like 30 days. TenBagger, it's a 3x. What other stocks do you see tripling in the last 30 days? In a very tough market. I mean, this has been a brutal bear market, and this stock is tripling. I mean, what does that tell you? And by the way, we've seen this thing explode up 20x. Usually, the big move doesn't start to happen until it's already up a little bit more, right? So we could see some very interesting things. I'm not making any predictions. I'm not saying where it's going. The Canadian regulations prevent me from saying that, from telling you, how I feel about the stock. But look, the charts don't lie. We can see what's happening in the moving average. But let's get into the main event. Let's get into the main event in a second. Let's get into today's Moon stocks, IS. Okay, IS. Yeah, look, so this thing has not had a nice little pop. This thing, it's been in a long downtrend, and they're doing a merger with Unity. Again, it looks like the Web3 theme is getting some legs over here. So that's it. It's pretty much, if you don't own it, you're not going to make any more money with it. That's basically it. But let's talk about some stocks where we're getting some MoonMentum action. GameStop. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but this thing looks like it wants to break out of here. You're above this 50-day moving average. We're creating a bit of a pennant, the flag. You got kind of a little double bottom bouncing off that 120. And let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. Maybe we get a little more clarity. Look, this thing, if it breaks out of this kind of like let's say 150, let's say 151. If this thing breaks out of 151, that's the next resistance level. If it breaks out of 151, we could see a crazy move. I don't even know why the stock is here. I mean, I think this thing is garbage. I think it's a scam. I don't understand it, but look, the chart does not. However, quite frankly, this stock is really only for like degenerate day traders. This is yeah. I don't see a lot of upside here. It's not an asymmetric setup. Look. You can play around with these goofy stocks where you can make a couple points and, you feel like a genius. I prefer asymmetric setups. I want to get paid 20 to 1, 50 to 1. If I'm risking $1, I want to have $50 of upside, right? So here, I don't know. What's the risk? The risk is GME could drop, you put a stop in at, I don't know, 120. I don't even know where you could put this. Maybe it's hard because you can get stopped at 120 maybe, but that's a big drop, right? So you got a $20 downside. The upside is what? It goes to 250. I don't know. That's 10 to 1 maybe. I don't know. But look, this thing is moving. I mean, you can see right now, this thing definitely wants to break out. But I don't see it as a great setup. If it breaks out of 151, we might see a run to the 200 range, maybe 225, 250. Very possible. Very possible. But I like setups which are 50 to 1, 100 to 1, right? So I'm looking at some of our penny stocks, our next super stocks. When we bring a company onto our platform, whether it's a NEXCF, whether it's AIML, whether it's what is it? What the hell is it called? XTM. We're looking for a setup where the downside risk might be only a couple pennies, and you could make $2. So you have 20 to 1, 50 to 1 type setups in some of these deals, right? I mean, there's always a risk, but the risk reward ratio is very compelling. And we've had a whole bunch of them, right? We've had how many of these things? We've had 9, 10 baggers, plus a whole bunch of others. So, and this is the year I think we're going to have some massive, huge winners. Okay. So we talk about GameStop. Let's take a look at AMC. It's another one of these meme stocks, which, I don't know. It's, for whatever reason, it looks like it wants to go up. I don't get it. Makes no sense, but the charts don't lie. And this thing is just really been gearing up. It wants to break out of this range. Here's the crazy thing. What I'm looking at is this spread above the moving average, this gap, right? So, it's not hugging it. This is a very high conviction. What this is telling you, the market has high conviction that it's a breakout, right? It's already $2.60 above that $13 breakout, and there's a wide gap. You get that escape velocity, very similar to, again, if you look at the NEXCF chart. Again, this is the real-time chart. I was showing you a slide from this thing is moving by the minute. Look at this again. Look at this gap between the moving average and where the stock is now. The moving average was at 60 cents. The breakout was at 60, and now we're at $1.16. $1.16. I mean, this thing is basically doubled in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, it's doubled. What stocks have you had that have doubled in 2 weeks, right? I mean, this is to me, this looks like we're back in moon mode with some of these stocks. It's like 2020 all over again. Actually, what's crazy is this. So we reintroduced. We had NEXCF, a couple of years ago, right? It was a 15 bagger. And we reintroduced it April. I think it was April 2nd, basically April. Let's say April 1st, whatever you want to call it, right? And, the stock was under a lot of pressure, a lot of, from that fund that did financing, crazy financing. It was $1 when we introduced it. It dropped pretty steadily to 40 cents. 40 cents. It's a 60%, 60% correction, right? Almost like relentless, as these guys are just dumping shares, overboard, basically. And by the way, that's pretty normal. Some of our biggest winners, right after we introduced them, they drop 20, 30%, just, because they were in a downtrend. I mean, that stock was in a downtrend when we got involved. I kind of thought we were at the end of it, but I was wrong. It dropped further. And now, 3 months later, we are, 3 months later, we're higher than we were at that time, which is very compelling in today's market, right? So we introduced it at $1 in April. It dropped to as low as like 35 cents. And now we're at $1.16, $1.16. And I think we're just getting started. Again, I'm not making any advice. I'm not saying any, where this is going. I'm just showing you the chart, and you can decide for yourself. By the way, we're going to have a live stream with NEXCF tomorrow, 1 p.m. Tune in, 1 p.m. tomorrow. And we got some very important news tomorrow coming up, which I I think you will be very, very interested in. They're going to be talking about new contracts, the big whale, more spinouts, not just the maps. They got other spinouts in the pipeline after that. There's a lot of exciting things happening. A lot of, some big R&D stuff in the pipeline, Web3 stuff. So there's exciting things happening there. You definitely want to join that live stream and then, figure it out, decide for yourself if, what you think is going. But look, let me show you this chart. I just want you to see this chart. Let me get out of this now. Oh shit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this. How about I do this? No, I'm going to do this. There we go. Okay. Take a look at this chart, right? I want to make this very big for you here. So, just look, you can see what's been going on. I mean, again, this thing has been as high as $10 and, it's had big moves from these base levels, right? Here's why. Now, we had a move back in June 2021, like over a year ago, where it broke out of the 50, but it was a short-lived move. It was a fake out. And I don't think today's a fake out. I'll tell you what the difference is, because you can see the angle of attack. There, the thing kind of, after it broke out, it in 5 trading days, it started losing momentum. Here, we're already 20 trading days into the breakout, and it's gaining momentum. It's the gap is widening between the moving average and where the stock is now. So that is a, I mean, I don't, whatever you want to think of me, my personal opinions. I'm just telling you, these are facts of, technical analysis. It's physics. I mean, this is science, right? This is not Fauci science. This is like a real science. This is moving average science, right? And follow the science. Listen, follow the science. You got to follow the science. The charts are telling you what is going on. The charts are telling you the momentum action is in play. All right, let's go to Clovis. Hey, another one. Momentum action in play. I don't even know what these guys do. I have no idea. Maybe, I don't know, they sell dog biscuits. Who knows? Here's what's very interesting. Holy shit. Look at this. I haven't even looked at, I mean, God, I haven't seen this chart before. This thing was $100 stock, $100. And you know what? I mean, hey, I'm not making any advice here, but you know what I say, stocks tend to go back to old highs. Oof, look at this. We got a big double bottom here. Maybe I should pick up some Clovis here. I mean, maybe should I learn what they do? I don't know. You got a big double bottom. What I don't like is we are, it's made a lower low on the double bottom. So it's not favorable. But it is kind of a double bottom here, maybe a head and shoulders over here. Big breakout above the moving average, and it's gaining momentum, right? It's gaining momentum. It's not like the previous fake outs. It seems to be stepping higher. And you know what? I would like to see, quite frankly, I'm not convinced by this thing. I'd like to see Clovis. I mean, I think if I were buying this, maybe I'd be willing to pay more. Maybe I'd pay like $3.50, even five and change, just to see that it's got to break out of this resist. Okay, so the pivot, the magic number is $5. So if you got some balls, you would buy it here, like stupid balls here. I mean, you're taking a big risk. Or if you want to be like smart, you'd be buying it above the $5 breakout. That's to me what this looks like. It's just because this thing has had, here's the thing. This thing has been in a long downtrend for years. I mean, look at this. I mean, this has been a 5-year downtrend. This is like a dog with fleas. A dog with fleas. So, oh my God. Yeah, this is a dog with fleas. It's been around like, 10 years. This has been a 10-year dog, a decade dog. A lost decade. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being tied up in this piece of shit garbage stock? CLVS, wow. But it could make a run here. But again, this thing has had a very bad track record. This is one of these things that's destroyed a lot of investors. But I think if it breaks above $5, you're going to have a new wave of people who are going to be saying, oh, this is it. This is the big one. So, you might have people who want to be doubling down. They might be at cost at whatever. I don't know. So this CLVS could have some legs. I'm just saying. I'm not making any recommendation here. Let's take a look at another stock that's in the news, Twitter, which is the ultimate scam company. Probably, I mean, these guys really are like a it's an organized fraud, basically, because they're lying about all their metrics. All their ad stuff is all bullshit. Numbers are bullshit. I tried doing ads on Twitter once. The numbers are all like fugazi, okay? And then they double charged me. It wasn't a lot of money. I think it was like $10 or something. But listen, it just goes to show you that these guys are basically thieves. They're thieves. They're thieves, okay? They're thieving cocksuckers is what Twitter is, okay? All these leftists, all these socialists, they're all talking about, oh, yeah, let's share the wealth. Yeah, they want to take money out of your pocket, put it in their pocket. That's Twitter. That's your typical Bay Area tech liberal, big tech guy, all scammers. I think this thing is what do they say? They're trying to say, oh, it's going to pop. It could have a little bit of a pop. I'm looking at the 1 week chart. Could have a bit of a pop, but it has a much higher probability of heading down. I mean, look, this is actually a very bullish move today. I mean, you got kind of what looks like a key reversal, but I think it's gonna fade out as it gets to 40. I think this thing is gonna lose momentum. If you see break above 40, that means something is happening. I don't see it breaking above 40. I think this is gonna hit 40, like under it, and then just fade out. This is a dog with fleas, and yeah. This is I've talked about the stock before. I actually tried to. I bought puts on it. I was a little bit early. Yeah, I was a little bit early. And yeah, that's the thing with options. I think I bought the puts when I think it was January 21. Stock was like 70 or 65. You find it on the social media, whatever. And I was early. It expired worthless. Stock dropped, and here we are. So in theory, I was right about the overall trend, but that's the breaks, right? Timing is everything. Right? So you got to get it right on timing, especially when it comes to options. By the way, speaking of timing, one of the big theories of our next super stocks is we only bring on stocks to the next super stock platform right at that inflection point, right when, I'm saying, hey, things are lined up where now it's ready to explode. They got the catalysts in place catalysts, which could have massive upside. There could be, they're at an inflection point. Things are starting to explode. And that means that when you buy the stock, that means, it's going to start taking off now, right? This is it. I mean, that's why I'm very, very picky when it comes to timing. Sometimes I'm wrong. You can't be perfect as Twitter shows you. Sometimes you're off by 6 months or a year, But yeah, timing is everything. That's why the next super stocks, our goal is inflection point, asymmetric setup. We got a 20-to-1, 50-to-1 setup. I think we got that with NEXCF, quite frankly, because, we were a little bit off. We were a little bit off by a month, 2 months, basically. The stock dropped in the first third. Now it's back. So we were off. Now it's on. Big, massive upside setup opportunity. So things are looking very good over there. But yeah, I don't believe this Twitter thing. I think it's a giant scam. Massive fugazi is what these guys are. Massive fugazis. I hope they all go bankrupt. I hope they starve to death. I mean, like literally, I hope that all the Twitter employees, like literally, they starve to death. I don't know if it's a terrible thing to say, but it would be good. Okay, NIO. What's going on with NEO? It's interesting. This thing has been in a long-term downtrend, but it's been it's trying to make a move here. So there's a couple of trend lines. There's a couple of trend lines here that you want to watch to see if we break out of these trend lines. Those are your main resistance lines. We got to break out above these. If you're bullish on this NEO, and again, I have no real opinion on it. I don't own it. I think it may be probably a scam. I'm sure it's a scam, but yeah, it's got to break out above these moving average, these down trend lines. But right now, look, right now, it's very bullish because we broke out of the 50 moving average. The gap has been widening. We're getting that escape velocity, but there is this very powerful trend line that is in the way. So between here and $25, you're going to run into some resistance. By contrast, let's take a look at the NEXCF chart. Where is the resistance? Let me draw this chart. I mean, you need to see this for yourself, right? So where is, so you got basically, I mean, most of the resistance lines were down, basically. I mean, there's no real resistance here. I mean, maybe you want to do one of these like this. You want to do one of those. You want to do one of these. You want to do one of, I don't know, these. You want to do a, I don't know, fuck. There's basically, here's what I'm saying. We got an air pocket. I've been talking about this before. There's an air pocket in NEXCF between here and like, $2. It really, based on these charts, it's really not until like $2.50, $3. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, I think there's a big air pocket between here and like $3 at this point. Based on these charts, I'm not making projections. I'm not saying the stock is going to go there. I mean, the stock can go to zero tomorrow. I'm not saying where the stock is going. I'm just telling you where the resistance lines are on these charts. Okay, this is, it's not me saying it. You can get any moron, CMT, CFA, an idiot. Any idiot can tell you what's going on here, right? So you got next resistance really is in that kind of like almost $3 range. Where is this? 322. Yeah, I do think we're probably going to run to a little resistance climbing this $1.90, $1.75, $1.90. Basically, as we get to $2, there's a little bit of a resistance, but the big one comes in here. So we got kind of an air pocket. I mean, let's see what happens. The stock is moving, right? The stock is moving. And that's a very positive indicator in a market like now, which is very, very bad market. I mean, when a stock rallies in a bear market, that's like very, very bullish. Okay, let's look at CRISPR. New rant, by the way. You know what? Look, they're supposed to, the ball is in their court. Like, they're welcome to come on. I mean, they got a contract with us, right? And they're not, they're welcome to do a live stream anytime, right? Like, and this is the crazy thing. Look, look, I can't chase these companies. They're welcome to come on board the platform anytime. And look, here's the thing, by the way. I got to say this is very important is, when we bring a company onto the Next Superstock platform, right, they're paying a lot of money. They're making a big investment. I expect them, by the way, and they're welcome to come on our platform, live streams as often as they want. I mean, they want to do it not every day, but, 2 times a month at minimum, because, generally there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure Nuren actually has a lot of very positive developments going on, right? But I don't know. The guy's busy. I don't know. And also I want news flow, very important. I talk about it in the book coming up. The book on making massive, huge 100-bagger, moon-bagger type stocks is we need news flow. Look, when we bring a company onto the Next Superstock platform, the premise is inflection point. Now it's ready to moon, right? It's moon time. But as an investor, I would say this. You got to trust but verify, right? Like Ronald Reagan said about the Soviets. Trust, okay, you can trust, but verify, right? Okay, so How do you verify it? Well, as soon as a company debuts, I'm expecting, news announcements over the next couple of weeks, once a week, every 10 days at the most, which tell me that they're making progress, that milestones happening towards that, that prove to the market, that validate the investment thesis that they have broken out of that inflection point. Is that clear? I don't know if anybody's watching this. How many people? We got what? 2 people watching? I don't know. But I just want to, sometimes I'm not able to articulate a concept, but hopefully I articulated it. So here's the thing. If a company debuts on our platform and they don't put out news on a weekly basis every 2 weeks, and they all have it, by the way, they all have news. Don't listen to this bullshit that they're busy, whatever it is. That's nonsense excuses, okay? There's no excuse for a company not to be putting out news. I'm talking about VSBY, Visibility Group, which, they only started doing news once, I started talking about it on social media, right? Look, I'm just here to help. I'm just here to make the stocks go up, right? That's what God put me on the earth for. That's my mission is to make stocks go up, right? So, I don't know. What's the guy? Michael Jordan? Is he still playing? No, he's not. But, some guys play basketball. Some, I don't know. You got, some guy becomes president. That's the guy. That's the destiny, right? For whatever you like it or not. Whether you like Joe Biden or not, he's there. God wants him to be president. God wants me to make stocks go up, apparently, right? So, what are we talking about here? I got distracted. Right. So the news flow, super important, super important. I'm just here to, put pressure on companies to do the fucking job. The CEO needs to do their job, which is maximize shareholder value, right? Who's doing that? I mean, listen, NEXCF is the best example. This is the one company I think that, every CEO should just follow the example of NEXCF. I mean, NEXCF is, what are they doing? They got a regular business. They got, but they have, what is it? They have a bunch of employees. They got a bunch of projects, a bunch of growth initiatives, but they're talking about it. I mean, that investors have a right to know. It's called disclosure. It's called transparency. That's the word that the millennials like, transparency, right? So all these companies have plenty to talk about, right? But they're not doing it. Why? Because they have no respect for the shareholders and those CEOs. They don't really get it. They don't get it when it comes to maximizing value. NEXCF does. Evan Gappelberg does. That is the best guy in the microcap business. That's why stock is going up. Why do you think that stock is going up? I talk about it in my upcoming book. The CEO is the most important thing for these stocks. Most important thing for the microcaps. Because if you have a great CEO, I mean, the guy could start off with a push cart full of horse manure, and next thing you know, he's launching rockets into space and a trillionaire, right? Or you could have a guy who's, he's got a space rocket business, and he doesn't put out news, and nobody knows about. The stock goes down to zero, everybody goes bankrupt. So anyway, Corey, I agree. SaaS is king. NEXCF. All right, so what are we talking about here? I'm sorry, I got distracted here. CRISPR. CRISPR is in moon mode, right? CRISPR's got moon mode action here. Moon mode action. We're at $80. It's been going up. Every day it seems to be, going up. I'm not a, it's like these wacky health tech companies. Yeah. By the way, those trend lines are not correct. This is from something with Yahoo. These people have billions of dollars. They can't make their trend lines work. This is from a previous chart. That's what happened. Yahoo is a case in point. They're hard an idiot. This Marissa, whatever his name, Marissa Tomei, Marissa, whatever, Myers, to maximize shareholder value. That's what she was hired. She wasn't hired to fix. She was hired to make the stock go up, right? She was a good-looking girl, very well dressed, the whole, very charismatic, whatever, great talker, and she screwed it up. She screwed it up. She should have been promoting the stock and executing it. And meanwhile, she completely destroyed it. And Yahoo, Yahoo's garbage. Let me draw you a trend line. So yeah, that's the main job. Make the stock go up. I think that CRISPR is, look, We are at a resistance line here. If we break out of this $81, you got an air pocket from here to 175. I mean, this thing could moon. I kind of like this. I mean, I like this. I kind of like the whole idea of this CRISPR thing. This is a Kathy Wood stock. It's interesting. It's interesting. Maybe I should learn what they do first, right? Before you buy. Yeah. But yeah, if it breaks out of this 81, that means it's ready to moon. By the way, pay attention to what do we got that's moving? Paid, that's XTMIF. These XTMIF above the moving average. You got to break it above the moving average. You got to watch this thing to make sure it follows through. I'd like to see a little more momentum here, a little more pickup, which would indicate that it is a trend reversal. But I think we are in the early stages. But in order to confirm a trend reversal, we do need a couple more days, really probably in this 27, 20, 30 cent area almost. If we get price action to there, I think that would be indicative of a new uptrend. Okay, what other stocks should we cover? NEO, CRISPR, I think I've covered everything. Did I cover AMC? I think I did cover AMC. Yeah, AMC. Yeah, definitely MoonMentum and AMC. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if AMC goes to $20 tomorrow. I mean, this thing just wants to rip higher. How about DraftKings? That's the stock I do own. I've been waiting for a big move breakout. I think it's just kind of waiting. It's patiently waiting here. It's patiently waiting. But you can see what happened, right? Like, I got excited because we had a breakout above the moving average a couple of weeks ago. And it was a failed attempt. And we tried it again, failed again. Maybe third time is a charm. Sometimes it takes a while to make these things happen, right? Sometimes it takes a while. Okay, I'm going to leave you with the NEXCF chart over here for your entertainment pleasure. Let me do this because I know a lot of these people. Somebody told me that only old people use bar charts. Everybody does candle charts. And the crazy thing is, I use the candlestick philosophy. I just don't like the way they look. I mean, I was probably one of the first people in America using candlestick charts like 1990. Okay. Like, I actually was going to write a book on it. It was, candlestick charts. I was in that way before. But anyway, look at this. This is called, what is this pattern called in the Japanese? That's the thing with all these names. It's these, cutesy names, Hello Kitty, whatever. This is the Hello Kitty pattern. This is the Japanese candlestick chart, Hello Kitty pattern. The Moon Kitty pattern, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I don't want to be over promotional. I don't want to say moon. I don't want to say moon when it comes to these, because the Canadians get crazy if you say moon, right? I don't want to, even though I have I'm an Order of Canada investee. That's right. I'm not wearing my Order of Canada pin today because, I'm not wearing my jacket right now. It's a little warm, but yeah. So I don't want to, upset the nanny state. You don't want to upset the nanny state. So look, this is the Hello Kitty pattern. We got a double bottom here, very clear. You got a flag pennant breakout, and Hello Kitty now is taking off. And look at these candlesticks. They're getting bigger and bigger by the day. Boom, boom, boom. 3 in a row. Stair step. One bigger than the next. Look at this volume. Boom, boom, boom. Each day, bigger volume than the next. That's what a bull market looks like. That's what an uptrend looks like. I mean, I don't know if I can be any more clear than that. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you on the next live stream. Make sure you join tomorrow. Press the like, subscribe button, the do not like button, whatever you want to press. And let's what do you call it? Let's be back here tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. NEXCF Evan Gappelberg, asking your questions, and only you can decide for yourself if this is going to be, a 20-bagger again. I mean, decide for yourself. Join the live stream tomorrow. I ask your questions. I mean, we put up all the questions that we don't, censor anything unless the questions have been repeated or it's kind of like a retarded question. But other than that, I mean, we're very transparent. You ask a question, we'll pop it up there. We're all about transparency, full disclosure. Look, the whole idea of stock promotion is my personal philosophy of stock promotion. The reason why I've been, I'm the best at it in the world, so many, 10-baggers, doubles, triples, whatever, is very simple. All you got to do is find a good story and get massive number of eyeballs to that story. And we have different ways of doing it. We have different multifaceted approach, but I don't need, people aren't stupid. I mean, look, the market is pretty sharp. I don't need, the market doesn't go up because I'm saying, hey, this stock is going to moon. It's nobody cares about that. I mean, I could be on here saying that NEXCF is going to go to $10 every day. Doesn't mean it's going to go to $10. I mean, people are smart, right? I'm just simply looking for a company which has that massive potential. It's kind of that butterfly inside that, the crocus, I think it's called, the cocoon. And, when it's in that cocoon, I'm just waiting for the butterfly to emerge. But it's there, right? I mean, so that it doesn't, I don't need to do any kind of magic. I mean, if there's a cocoon and you say, cat, it doesn't mean a cat is going to emerge from that cocoon. No, it's going to be a butterfly. I can't change anything. So all I can do is help things move along. Maybe, I don't know, turn up the temperature a little bit so that the butterfly emerges faster, or, I don't know, play music so it emerges faster. But the butterfly is going to emerge, whether I do anything about it or not. Like, this is all, it's out of my control, really. So what happens with NEXCF is really like, it's destiny. There's nothing I can do about it. Look at the chart. You can see where it's been. Follow the signs. Listen to Dr. Fauci. Follow the chart signs is what I say. See you